Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm back in here for another reaction. This time I will be reacting to recently, Joe Budden. I don't know if it's an invitation or what, however you want to call it. Joe Budden had ADAM22 on his platform, around his crew and co-hosts, and they sat down to basically do, I guess you would call this an interview or a, a space a space to just really get off dialogue. I've already reacted to the whole thing of Joe Budden accusing Adam22 of being this culture vulture and this person who leeches off of black culture pretty much. I've already done my think piece on that, and now we will be getting into something that I had also previously spoke about in the reaction video, which was that basically DJ Academics does the same exact thing, and that's Joe Budden's friend. So we're about to get into the DJ Academics and ADAM22 comparison of reporting. Let's do this.
Ak got his big break doing what?
YouTube.
What on YouTube?
You're referring to Warren Chirac, but that was not his first channel. He started that channel.
I didn't ask you about his first channel.
I hate when people act like Warren Chirac was the biggest thing.
His question was,
I was doing more numbers than that.
Got his big break doing what?
Doing
his question?
Keyword
there is big everyday struggle.
All right. Hey, yo, let me I know your fiance be wanting to kick your ass. Your fiance wants to.
I don't like him. I don't like him.
He fucks with me.
I don't fuck with this white boy.
See, he's dancing around the questions because I haven't seen the whole entire interview, but I really feel like they just brought him in there as a setup to just like literally bombard him and ambush him with questions. I mean, to be completely fair, that's just the way it looks from just literally reacting to two different separate clips of the whole entire podcast.
Yo, I know your fiance be wanting to kick your ass when y'all argue.
All right, I'll answer it for you since you want to avoid it. Many people in the business learned about Ak through his War and Chirac commentary.
Sure. Okay. I don't think you knew about that when he was actually doing it. You found out
about it.
I don't, nigga.
After,
I'm
up.
You don't give a fuck about that level of content. These fucking random drill
That wasn't
kids.
where I was in my life.
Right.
I'm not talking about me. I'm excluded from this. I learned about this at Everyday Struggle because I had to deal with it.
Because Vic Mensa got tough with him.
No. See, and that's your problem. Why? Because that was public. You know how many niggas privately I had to deal with because Ak was a novice at the time, and much like you, didn't see nothing wrong with his War and Chirac coverage until many people personally, now that he was growing and getting big, had to say what Vic Mensa said. Yo, that was our cousin. That was our nephew. That was our uncle. That was our family. That you, who don't know shit about shit, niggas dying every day, getting locked up. You don't know shit about shit.
He didn't say that.
And
he
you
said,
on
I
YouTube,
really think you a bitch.
And you on because that's the other part of it.
And that's the side that y'all don't see.
You're not from
that's
this
the
side
that y'all not seeing.
Yo, you're not from this
side.
You're
not from where Vic Mensa from, where he smacked motherfuckers up.
Hey, you can make a Big Mensa joke all you want, but you're not from this side, and you are reporting on something without the information and without knowing the hurt that you have
caused. Without any sensitivity,
without much like you.
No, I just wanna stop it real quick. I wanna highlight something really fast. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, but not even Joe Budden, DJ Academics and ADAM22 were beefing for some time. So this is kind of ironic that Joe Budden, who is DJ Academics' friend, would be bringing him up and comparing him to ADAM22. Honestly, the way ADAM22 reports things, it's so different. It's not like he's right there when everything happens. The way the War in Chirac was, it was definitely that whole entire thing that DJ Academics did with Warren Chirac was not a respect thing. He was just reporting stuff that was already out. But the reason why I think he got so much backlash for that is because, well, basically, he's not a street guy. And for a street guy to be talking about something that has, first of all, he's not from Chicago, and two, he's not street. So those two things being the benefactor, it's like, who is you? Who are you? I think that was the whole problem with the war in Chirac. Let it have been something where it was like DJ Academics was like Zach TV, rest in peace, where Academics was like speaking on things because that was his surroundings. That's where he grew up and everything like that. That would have been a different thing. But this is somebody who's on the outside looking in. I don't even think it's a thing where he was listening to the music. I think he was more. I think at that time and more infatuated with just the thought of people passing away from rap records and people speaking on each other in rap records. I think that's what made the Warren Chirac so controversial and also so popular as well.
You're not gonna blame the war on Chirac on me. I'm defending it a little bit, but I'm not.
Academics, much like you, was resistant to that. He didn't really understand it until he had to grow some more. Then it was like, I can find a different way to do my job. And he does that. He does that today. He don't touch nothing near it. That was a moment.
He's all over the Kid Flock murder. He was all over the fucking, FBG Cash, this exact thing that we're talking about. He does videos about all these artists. He just doesn't talk about the 15th most popular dude in OTF who got into a shootout with so-and-so.
So then he's not doing that anymore.
Well, he's raised the level of who he'll talk about because he got so big that all of a sudden it wouldn't really make sense for him to talk about such small
point I want to talk to these niggas.
No, at some point I might bump into
one of these niggas and I want to talk to them. I cannot cover them the way that I covered them from my mother's basement. Now that I'm a multi-millionaire and I'm out here and I have a bigger obligation and responsibility to culture.
I don't think it's that.
You seem to be ignoring that part.
I was a little too satirical with some of the way that he spoke about Chicago in the war in Chirac, but I think if he had toned it down 20%, then nobody would be able to say anything.
Now you're
bad
making
about
me
it
mad
because he was still just talking about shit that people wanted to know about that was going on in the streets. There's a massive appetite for that sort of content, right?
Which means people are profiting off of Black death.
But why do so many people want to hear about it? I feel like that's I get it, and I want to hear about it too. So
it's a million people that watch.
Am I gonna have to put my headphones on to hear whatever?
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to reach.
Nah, answer act, goddammit. We got action. Come on, give it to me.
I think he changed his number. They're all green for me right now.
Blocked. I'm sorry, the person you were trying to reach.
Let me text this nigga. Get over here. Y'all keep talking.
Nah, I just think that people profiting off of
green
Black
now.
death
You're right.
is disgusting. I don't like that. And especially people that are not of and from the culture because you have a disconnect in how you're going to report it.
This is my thing.
You too big to be doing this low level bottom feeder bullshit that you be doing.
I have a final
statement.
statement.
Too big for this.
You probably won't let it be my final statement, but this is an important statement.
No, go ahead. Get your shit off.
Hip-hop is music of the streets. True. Right? Therefore, if we're going to interview popular rappers, some significant percentage of them are going to be associated with gangs or have been involved with the streets, involved in street situations or whatever. You basically have to touch on that because of the fact that they rap about it.
No,
right?
you don't. No, you don't.
So they can rap about it, but somehow it's off limits for me to sort of ask questions.
We don't.
That's
the funny part about this is that most of these rappers nowadays don't need to be on any of these platforms to really just talk about the Black trauma that's in their music. They're giving it away in their music, and they could make their own platform to talk about it. There are plenty of rappers on YouTube and other platforms that talk about some of the things that have happened in their music without having to be on No Jumper, without having to be on DJ Academics platform, without having to go to Joe Budden, without having to be on any of these platforms, Say Cheese, any of those platforms. Rappers do it themselves. So there has to be some type of accountability to our own culture. It's not just sit in this room and attack the white man who is covering the culture that is basically giving it away in their music and in their music videos and in all of their content. You have to point the finger at our culture. You got to point the finger at our culture and stop just pointing the finger at one person who's profiting off of our culture. He might not have grown up in our culture, but he thinks our culture is interesting. I mean, I'm sure ADAM22 has a lot of respect for a lot of different rappers, and not just the LA scene, but in a lot of scenes. I'm not about to hold him accountable for the stuff that happens in our culture. That's our culture. That's not him. People want to. It's not his fault if people want to know about said rappers, said group of rappers, said female rapper, said content creator. It's that way because those people who create are putting it out there for people to see, right or wrong.
That's fine. And you guys do
I
great
can
content.
name
So
a
you also
handful.
don't interview people. You also
No,
are
I can name street
I gotta
rappers.
interview rappers who have like 3 videos
No,
out.
you don't.
And I gotta
No,
think
you don't.
No, you don't.
But I want to because they're interested
No,
to me.
you want to because you're gonna put that
there
shit on
we
there and
go.
monetize
Yes,
it. Yo, we interviewed. What's my man name we interviewed from Houston?
Which one?
Crip dude from Houston.
Max O'Cream.
We interviewed him. We asked him no gang shit, no beef shit, no nothing. We talked about him as an individual. We interviewed the other dude that's beefing.
Yeah.
We ain't asked him shit about nothing. And he has active beefs that we could have put up as clickbaits to talk about on YouTube. We don't go there. We talk about these young black boys and their life and their upbringing and where they plan to go in their trajectory. Because we give a fuck.
I've been interviewed.
Yeah, I care about these people. Now, when they
too.
leave here and when
As
they
do
go,
I.
no, please shut the fuck up. And they go to academics and Act says, hey, such and such is shooting at you and such and that. What are you going to do about the beef? And then that shit goes to like 1 million views in a couple seconds. I say, go Act. I wouldn't have done that.
Never.
I'd have never done that. That's not my business model. It's not how I run things. That's not how. I don't even want to speak to niggas about that type shit. I believe in karma and energy. What if one of these niggas ops is watching now? They got a problem. Oh, you asked that question. I'm on you now. Like it get different, and y'all are just really. There's a lot of naivete with y'all
because
it's convenient,
they don't
stupid.
No, it's not. Yo, I've lost cousins to gun violence. I got friends doing life in jail. They can't attest to that. They never got them phone calls where motherfuckers doing life, sneaking the phone at 2:00 in the morning and all that goofy shit to talk to you. So it's a disconnect. Yes. It's a disconnect there where they don't know the importance of what they reporting. And they don't know how severe that shit gets, what they reporting. They don't understand that. Academics wasn't off the porch. No disrespect to him. He don't know none of that shit. That nigga
Never
ain't
disrespect him.
never.
That's my guy.
So,
but yeah,
he wasn't either. He was riding a fucking BMX.
But you know what? But it
at
took him-
17
Yeah,
when I was
exactly.
riding around $100,000 cars at 17.
but it took Act. He got that everyday struggle job. You bring it up, everyday struggle. He gets that job, and now I'm around people. I'm no longer in my basement.
I can't be in my basement no more. I might potentially
Now
bump into
I
these
have
niggas.
to hear about how people feel about my action, and that is what makes you act differently.
Yeah.
Fam,
What makes you
forget-
act
I can put it
differently,
on
Adam?
myself. I ain't got to talk about myself. 2010, 11, 12, Twitter,
Wildin'.
wilding.
I remember. I followed you back then.
Wilding.
You like
know.
that shit, right? You fascinated with that shit,
I
right?
unfollowed him at some point. What happened? I don't know.
I don't know.
He stopped. He grew up.
Yeah.
I'm not refollowing
He grew
him
up.
after this.
You know how many people hit me and say, "Yo, yo used to give it up back on Twitter." I'm like, "Yeah, but
Yeah,
you know
you're
what?
crazy.
Well, for what?"
No.
Then you start to realize, like, I've had conversations with artists themselves that was like, "Yo, dog, like niggas was looking for you at one point."
This an Ice story.
You don't even know that.
Let me take it from Ice. Ice is
I really feel the passion and emotion from Ish and and everything that he's saying, but why are we as I stated before, why are we putting this on just him? Why are we putting it all on him? And then Pete, did y'all peep the way they was just giving it up for DJ Academics? Even though DJ Academics has changed the way like he reports things, it doesn't mean he's really like stopped from doing too much else, he still talks about street stuff. He still talks about street stuff. He still talks about couples and what's going on in their bedroom. He still talks about things that he has no business talking about sometimes. And that's probably primarily the reason when I go do a podcast, I'm never going to talk about no street stuff. I'm never going to act like I know what I don't know. I'm never good. I'm only coming from a perspective of somebody who is a civilian, and that's it. I am not a gang banger or nothing like that, and I don't claim to be. But I mean, this whole entire meeting of content creators feels like it's ridiculous. Like this whole entire thing. I haven't watched the whole entire thing, but it feels like it's just ridiculous because they're just putting their putting their emotions all on this one guy. All three of these guys, all four of these guys are putting their whole entire uh emotional angst on this man, like as if like he's the only one doing it. Like it, it's obviously on record that Joe Budden hates DJ Vlad, and it's like he's not. It's like it's not on Adam 22, and it just like seems like they've never watched an episode of the No Jumper podcast, any of the podcasts that are on No Jumper, and this is just a moment to point the finger and attack him like he is like the proprietor or the kingpin of exploitation in hip hop media when he is certainly not.
Popular in this one spot. Ice is in this spot often. The niggas get word that Ice goes to this spot frequently. You know what now? They got vans riding by there like, yo,
Y'all know Ice?
Ice in there?
He in there right now?
He in there? Yo, that's my man. He in there?
Yeah.
And niggas is calling like, yo, such and such is out here asking if you coming tonight? Nah, I ain't coming there. Who asking? Oh, shit. That changes you.
Yeah.
That
You
changes
can
you.
bump into
But
people.
y'all are never faced with that. So y'all could keep this bullshit reporting because y'all never come eye to eye with that. And that's unfair.
What are you talking about? I've interviewed both sides of this whole gang war in Chicago, and they
know.
all
That's not
the same.
That's
fucking
not the same.
None of them
He-
think that I've done
he didn't
anything
catch
inappropriate with
none
these
of that.
interviews.
Yeah, that's way over the head, bro.
Why? I'm face to face with the
Respectfully,
exact people
Come
that you're
on,
talking
Adam.
about,
And
and
you-
they don't feel like I'm doing anything.
I know,
wrong.
because
Somehow a bunch of guys
apologize
in
right now.
redacted
Adam.
borough out here feel that I'm doing something way over the line, but they're not the ones who feel that way, right?
Yo, no, this is what happens.
And I'm outside.
You're objectively reporting, right? You're giving them an opportunity to get both of their sides out.
Trying to, yeah.
But in the same token, you are perpetuating this shit and you
Yes.
are instigating it.
Because
And
now
when these
once
black
he
boys
go up there,
fucking die,
once he go up there, the next one can't wait to get up there. Because now I
Exactly.
gotta respond to this
Exactly.
nigga.
Hey, this is where it gets
And the
really
fact that
ill.
you giving me the platform to respond to him, I'm not mad at
This is
you.
where it get really ill. Now he's so up that I just hired more black people to do this. I don't even have to do this. I'm gonna go golf.
I don't golf, but
I'm gonna
BMX.
go buy
no,
my
I'm
BMX
gonna go work
dirt
on my
bike.
neck. I'm
There
gonna
you
go work
Get
on
your-
my next $100 million
There
venture,
you
my
go.
next $300 venture, $300 million venture, and at 50, he's 38 now. At 50, I'll be a fucking mogul in media off of this nigga shit.
Come on, Adam.
Come on, man.
Come
Stop,
on, Adam.
yo. Stop.
Come on.
I never heard such cynicism in my life that I'm making content for hip hop fans. You guys know that conflict is the fucking heart
I don't
of
know
hip
that.
hop
I don't know
content.
that. I don't know that.
That's
I
not
don't
true.
know that.
Raps
All right.
better.
That's not
Who's
true.
cool?
You
hear him?
That's
You fucking
not
know it.
true,
And I'm doing
dog.
content covering the shit that people want to hear
Hey,
about.
yo. Hey, Parks.
And you're acting like it's
Flip
fucking
it.
devilish.
Hey, Parks.
And you know I'm right. And he walks away.
I love you, dog.
Yaku.
I love you.
No, but seriously though, hip hop conflict as it is the apex of it is like the frontal of hip hop music. Without conflict in hip hop music is boring. Hip hop music is not as interesting if it's just about rap music. As I stated, the Joe Budden podcast has probably never really watched Adam 22, and all the people he interviews in hip hop and outside of hip hop. And They're hypocritical because they just bigged up DJ Academics, who still, even though he's like kind of like pushed himself back a little bit, he's still with the BS when he first started. But that's the end of this reaction, man. What did y'all think? What should I review next? And I'm out.